Good morning, all. It's morning for me right now, and I'm here in Lynn Valley, and wow, I mean, there's so much beauty here. This is like, there's just nothing but trees. You see it here behind the camera. I see the trees, and I see mountain that is covered in trees, and the sun is just starting to come up. And we just had the summer solstice a couple days ago. I believe it's the 23rd of June. Sun day. Sun, I love the sun. I eat food that is infused with the sun, that lights up my body, and I can shine that light on so many people now with social media, and there's so many of us that are rising up in social media and embracing the whole living foods message. Sun food, just glorious food that enriches us and just phew. And this is toward the end of my 3-week stay here with my beloved Gina, and here it goes. You know, there's so much that has happened this 3 weeks, and we've got to speak on a radio show. 3 different restaurants had us do talks, and we could just see the people, their necks are in, their heads are in, and they're like, oh my God, like they haven't heard this message before, or they've heard it and now it's clicking, you know, and we could see that in people, and I see that in people's eyes, that natural food in their natural state is it. I mean, that's that's what we were made to eat. And when I eat that food, it's like, oh my God, it's such a different feeling than that cooked food world. And hey, I know there's a bunch of arguments about cooked food, and from Chinese medicine to Ayurveda, and you need warming foods because of your dosha, or Chinese, you know, the balance, or you're too wet and all that. And I'll just say this, I don't know very much, but I know for me, raw food has been everything. And I'm a Vata dosha, so go figure that one out. I even got a little Kapha in me. Definitely not Pitta. Actually, I have all 3 fairly balanced, but Vata is the highest, Kapha is the second, and Pitta is the third. And so one would say I eat too much cold food. And again, natural food in their natural state. We're the only species out of the millions upon millions of millions that cook our food. And we're the only species that have an epidemic of illnesses, sickness, and aches and pains and short-lived lives, and wow. And so here we go, short-lived lives. You know, just about a week ago on Father's Day, I did a post on Facebook for my dad. I showed the picture of my dad, and he died from cancer. And at age 56, I was 13 years old, and you know, it's just so, it was so unnecessary. I see that now, but nobody knew then, including me, that there was such a thing as like healing with food. You know, we go to doctors, we go to pharmaceuticals, we go to all of this thing that we've been brainwashed on, and not to say that some of that doesn't help, especially in emergency situations, but really, I mean, nature has it. And so I did the post about my dad, and how I just wish, you know, with all this goodness in my life, there's so much going on that's coming to me, that I've manifested, that I know that I have been the love that I truly am, and that's why it's come into my life. Not just with Gina, but with this whole raw food movement, and getting on social media, and getting speaking engagements, and getting asked to be on radio shows, and just this whole thing where my message, which is not really my message, but the message of raw food, now can be spread through this vessel, me, Steve Factor. And there's so many of us who are doing this and embracing it, and more attraction, and more people are questioning the old paradigm of diet. You know, the saying goes, diet has the word die in it, and diet is always about restriction and counting calories and looking at nutritional facts and what they say you need for this and this, and there's some truth to that, but when we go to nature, we start to clean out. And when we clean out, we can start to absorb so many of those things that are not the things that people are selling. You know, just the apple, the banana, the strawberry, the kale, the spinach, you know, these are foods that have so much in them. And yes, you know, there's always that argument, well, they don't have as much as they used to, you know, and people want to look at all of that, and sure, yes, I believe in superfoods and supplementing that way. And I believe that there is some power in foods that haven't been tapped into, especially wild foods. The soil hasn't been cultivated, so it's rich, natural soil. And then spring water, I'm a big believer in. And this 3 weeks I've been here, I've been walking barefoot a lot. I've been staying away from electromagnetic frequencies more than ever, staying off the computer, off the cell phone more than ever. I'm still on it every day, but I've just been spending less time in it and breathing the fresh air, and it's so beautiful. And I don't know if you hear this steady like hiss in the background, but that is the river, the stream that of water just flowing, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. And so speaking of gorgeous, I alluded to it before with Gina Silvestri, who has my heart, and it's just such a beautiful connection that we have. And on June 9th, 2013, I asked her to be mine forever and for me to be hers forever. And wow, you know, she said yes, it would be an honor to marry you, Steve Factor. And I was just like, it's a lot, you know, because we found what we believe to be our twin flame. And, you know, past soulmates is the twin flame, and we feel like we've known each other. We joke around about it, but some part of us says known each other 5,000 years. I don't know why that word 5,000 or the number 5,000 comes in. Maybe because we are in the 5D, the new paradigm, what I call home, where all of my old beliefs are being shattered. All of those old stories are going away. And lots of you might see Gina and I on Facebook and see, you know, we post, you know, when things are great and so forth. But we've had some rocky times too. We've had rocky times where it's like, man, we've been married for 10 years or something, where we hit each other's like vulnerable points and weak points, and the new paradigm is really showing that the stuff in her that triggers me and the stuff in me that triggers her is the exact thing we need for our healing. The exact thing we need to dissipate and get rid of those stories, because they're just stories. My story of just like, it should be like this and that and this and that, and then if it's not like that, it's like, whoa, it doesn't follow my story. But it's like, there's a new story here. It's called reality, and it's called being in the now without all those stories. It's the when we're in the now, all those stories go away, and those stories are all ego-based. They were passed on from our parents and our parents' parents and our parents' parents' parents and so on, and we don't need to subscribe to those stories anymore unless they're healing us, because there's a lot of stories out there that are beneficial to us. You know, our parents aren't all bad, no matter what you're going through. We all have dysfunction here and there, but it's like they were doing the best they could, and their parents were doing the best. But now, with the internet that has been something where we can now see information that we couldn't see before, we get to learn different ways of being. And, you know, knowing her for 5,000 years. We went to see a shaman, and the shaman like said stuff about me she could not know. It was just like unbelievable, like where I come from and what my heritage is, and stuff that has happened. And some of them, yeah, could be generalizations, but there was some stuff is like, wow. And I just remember her saying, like, when she saw both of us together, and she said, oh wow, you guys have known each other for a long time. And I totally feel that. And so beautiful, because you know, she's so gorgeous. You know, you guys see her and she's all beautiful, but to know her insides and know that love and that nurturing and that beauty and that strength and her ability to tap into nature, and she's taught me nature. She's taught me nature on a whole nother level. And it's like who and what I really am is just this beauty and this love, and it has been my message. Not my message again, but it has been the message I've been sharing, the love and the light, and that I am pure energy. That's my message, pure energy, and that it's all one, and we all are one. And it's great to like first get it into the intellect, and to just say, oh wow, I resonate with that, and I feel it here. And with Gina, I've been able to feel it so much more here that it's like, I just have found paradise, and I'm blessed, and we're both like blessed. We've talked about it when we're at this with each other, and the stories are coming up, and the fears, and fear is always ego. Ego is always in the past and the future. The past being anger, the future being fear, but the now. Yes, there might be some pain in the now, but there's also so much joy, and that's what's at the root of it, the joy. Underneath it, I've heard fear is like up here, anger is like here, sadness is here, or pain is here, and then here, joy just is underneath it. And so when we peel back the layers that are blocking us for who and what we really are, it is joy. And it's boundless energy. I mean, I have found like the energy of when I was a child, and even some that's even more free than that, because when I was a child, I felt all this tension and trying to play the part so you would like me, and what do they think, and am I okay, and will I get approval, and all of that stuff. And now there's so much less of that. It's still there. I still want the approval. I still want you guys to like me. I still want you guys to love me and all that. But there's so much less because I've stepped into who and what I really am, which is love, light, pure energy. And I want to carry this message of pure energy to as many that will. And so I ask you to share this video. Share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you can. Because the more people that could tap into nature, the more our planet is going to come together and be as one, in this one love that we all are. There's no separation between us. None. The only thing that could separate us are our egos. I heard that once before, and it was just like, yes, only our egos separate us. And so when we drop the egos, I get to feel this heart space, and I get to share it with a woman who she said yes to for the rest of her life to me. And I'm so grateful. So grateful. And I asked her on June 9th, 6/9/2013. Those numbers equal 21, which equal 3. 3 is my favorite number. 3 is Gina's life path number. 6 is her favorite number. 6 is my life path number. And it's just things like that. I didn't know I was going to ask her on that day. I didn't know I was going to ask her on a Sunday. Sunday. I didn't know that it was going to be the 9th hour, 9 o'clock in the morning, when I asked her. And so we have these 3s and 6s and 9s in our path, and we've just seen the numerology of it, and that part. And it's not just that, it's so much. And finishing each other's sentences, or having the same thought, We're saying the same thing at the exact same time after we've been quiet for a while. Boom. You know, just having this collective thought, this collective consciousness that this earth is coming to, and more are rising up and awakening from their death, and less people are harming animals, and they're going to that lifestyle of eating living foods, natural foods in their natural state. How could that possibly be extreme? We hear that so much. It's like, I hear people, that's extreme. The raw food diet, which is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. The raw food diet is extreme. Oh, really? It's really comical, you know. But like pharmaceuticals, eating processed food, chemotherapy, radiation, seeing doctors who have spent 45 minutes in nutrition in their 4 years of medical school, and listening to them and saying, yes, you know it all. You know, and I don't mean to diss doctors. More and more doctors are starting to get into meditation and raw foods, and I've heard that. And so, you know, again, it's not to blame anybody here or to say this whole group is like this, because more and more are coming up into nature and saying nature is the deal. I've been grounding more, like I was saying, and I've been like walking on the ground, and at first I saw my feet were like, ow, ow, you know, I'm a city boy, and ow, this hurts, and then I start to like build into it, and my feet are getting stronger. And now I've come to a place where I come from a place of where nature is like beautiful and nice and good to be once in a while, to now nature is absolutely necessary for my well-being. I need to tap into this. I need to tap into Gaia, Mama Earth. I mean, this is it. This is where the energy is. There are electrons that come out of the earth and infuse me. And then I'm having sun food that infuses me, and spring water, and nurturing relationships. And it's no wonder that I am a magnet for greatness coming into my life. It's just like attracts like, and this is the best. This is the best. It's just my life keeps getting better and better. And the whole thing about the raw food diet, you know, again, it's a lifestyle. Diet is always about restriction, and this lifestyle is about abundance. I mean, really like getting it on with the food 3 times a day, fully on, eating as much as we want. Because you know when we get full? At the exact time we're supposed to get full. With all the water and the fiber and nutrition that's in natural foods in their natural state. It sends a signal, it goes to our stomach, sends a signal to our brain saying, enough, finished, you're satisfied. And before, I was never satisfied. I was eating again, more, one more potato chip, one more French fry, one more hamburger. Yeah, one more hamburger. I would have 3, you know, 3 Big Macs at McDonald's. That was my baseline. I used to go to In-N-Out Burger and get 2 doubles animal style, and get the vanilla shake, and I would bring Reese's peanut butter cups to crumble them in the vanilla shake. I used to go to TGI Fridays and get 2 racks of their ribs, Jack Daniel's sauce ribs, and I would dip my French fries with ketchup and Jack Daniel's sauce because ketchup wasn't enough. You know, and I'd go to Cold Stones and get these big tubs of ice cream with Butterfingers and with the waffle cone, and you know, so burritos, Chinese food, Indian buffets where I would just eat until I almost passed out, and then I would go to Starbucks and get a Frappuccino to give me energy. Coffee does not give anybody energy. Let's right here and right now make a clear distinction between energy and stimulation. Those are 2 very separate things. And so I would stimulate myself with coffee, and I used to like have to get that way to wake up and to be part of the world. And it's like, the new coffee is green juice, baby. This is it, you know. We could just get, woo! You want to wake up in the morning? I wake up anyway like that, and I just have the green juice, and it just takes me to another level. And I wake up with the sun. It's been, we're right around the summer solstice now, and I've been waking up and when the sun comes up. So here in BC, Canada, we're looking at about 3:30 to 4 o'clock, it starts to get a little light outside, and I'm up, and I got energy, and I'm fine, and I love it. This is like living in tune with nature. And the more and more I do that, the more and more I become who and what I really am. And the more I get rid of what I'm not through detoxification. I did a couple cleanses here, the Ajuba cleanse and the 4 tonic cleanses by Dan McDonald. I forgot to mention, we got to both speak via Skype at the Toronto Raw Vegan Festival, where I heard there was about 8,000 people there. And before I was at the World Fest about a month ago speaking, so more and more is just coming my way in this raw food world, and I want to share this message. I want to speak. The other night I was speaking, and I was having that flow, and people were like leaning in, and we were having that connection, and I was like, this is what I was put on this planet to do. I totally believe that. I just get to express this. And part of it too has to be when I was a kid, I didn't express anything. I was like locked. I didn't say anything. I was always too cool to be angry and too brave to be scared, and I just wouldn't feel. I would never cry. And it's like, now you guys get to see me cry, especially like, I cry when things are good. I don't cry like my life is so bad. When people start saying words to me, the other night we were hanging out with some friends, and they were saying all these kind things to me, and I was like, oh, those are crying words, man. You better stop. You know, we're just joking around. But this is like, it's like I get so much from it. And Gina put together this scrapbook for me of pictures of us and notes that she wrote me, and it's just so beautiful, her heart and our heart, and I could just look at her. And we've been doing eye gazing together, where we sit, hold hands, and just look in each other's eyes in nature for a while, and we don't say anything, and both of us just start streaming tears. It's so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful, so much love, so much pure energy. Subscribe to my videos, tell a friend me on Facebook. I put my recipes up almost every day of what I eat, and inspirational things, and things just like this, videos. And I'm one grateful man looking at I think that's a squirrel. It's crawling up a tree right now. Hey, little guy. You know, just being one with nature. Becoming more and more of who I really am. It's really good. It's really, 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 really good. Namaste, brothers and sisters. Namaste.